All right, let's see another example of using a proportion to find an unknown. This one involves a map. Have you ever noticed that maps are a lot smaller than the real-life places that they show? A map is a good example of something called a scale drawing, which is just a drawing that's either larger or smaller than the real thing it depicts, but it's still in proportion to that thing. For example, this map of Hawaii is a lot smaller than the actual Hawaii. But even though the map is smaller, it's still proportional to the real island. And there's even a scale on it to show the relationship between the two sizes. It says that 5 centimeters on the map is equal to 9 miles on the real island. Okay, suppose that we want to know how many miles it is from the Hawaiian volcano Mauna Loa to the city called Hilo. We can set up a proportion to figure that out. The ratio that we already know is 9 miles per 5 centimeters. Now we just need to set that equal to an equivalent ratio that has the unknown distance in it. Because we have the map, we can use a ruler to measure how many centimeters it is from Mauna Loa to Hilo. It looks like about 20 centimeters, so the bottom number of the equivalent ratio is 20 centimeters, and the top number is the number of miles, which is unknown. Again, we'll just use the letter N to stand for that missing number. To solve this proportion for the unknown number, we use our cross-multiplying procedure. First, we write a new equal sign, and then we imagine the crisscross to show us what we multiply together on each side. On the first side, we have 9 times 20, and on the other side, we have 5 times n. On the side that has two numbers, we can go ahead and simplify. 9 times 20 equals 180. On the other side, we have 5 multiplied by our unknown value, n. We can't multiply that, but we don't need to. Instead, we want to get the n all by itself. How do we do that? Well, we can't just ignore the 5 like we ignored the 1 in the last problem. Instead, to get the n by itself, all we have to do is divide both sides of the equation by the number that n's being multiplied by. In this case, that's 5. So on the first side, 180 divided by 5 equals 36. And on the other side, 5 times n divided by 5 is just n, since the 5's cancel out. There. Now we know what the unknown value in our proportion is. 36 equals n, which is the same as n equals 36. That's the number of miles it is from the volcano Mauna Loa to Hilo. Alright, so in this video, we learned that a proportion is a pair of equivalent ratios. And we learned how we can set up a proportion that has an unknown number and then find out what that number is by cross-multiplying. Proportions are really important. If you understand how they work, you can use them to solve all sorts of real-world math problems. And the best way to understand them is to practice what you've learned in this video by working some problems on your own.